Norm Johnson, whose call escapes me at the moment, but here in San Diego, and he is a long-time parts collector, and that's just a very small part of it.
Yeah, well, like you say, thank you very much. Certainly appreciated.
No problem.
Anyways, this is ND7M standing by here for the Collins Collectors Association this evening. I guess Dennis and Lisa are not going to be available tonight, and so hopefully we'll have a few check-ins. So far we've got two on the list here. Anyone like to get on the early check-ins for the Collins Net? Come now.
November 6th Alpha Fox, I'm not sure if you know that line over.
Okay, I got KB6 OQJ, and then there was somebody else in?
November 6th Alpha Foxtrot, good evening.
Okay, Chuck, yeah, I heard you a little bit earlier, so you're at the top of the list. And, yeah, I got WA6JBD checking in. So, hello, Mel. Okay, well, you're sounding good. I'd say about maybe 05/9 or so on a standard S meter. The rig I've got here has the Rockwell Collins meter on it, which is in dB over S9 or dB over 1 microvolt. So yeah, you're about 40 dB RF. So that's about maybe 5/9. Well, actually, this one starts at 0 and it goes to 100. It's the HF8070A transceiver. Okay, real good. Yeah, you're up and down because that's part of the band this early in the evening here. So yeah, you're peaking around 45, 50, somewhere in there, and dropping down to maybe 35. So sounds good.
All right, very good. I'll let you move on to the next one.
Okay, we're good, Mel. Okay, this is ND7M. We're taking early check-ins for the Collins Collectors Association. Please come now.
W6RBJ.
Okay, George, I've got you. And a static crash took out the other station there. Come again?
Whiskey 6 Romeo Bravo Juliet, W6RBJ.
Okay, Ron, I have you. Must have a storm or something kind of in the vicinity here. I'm getting some pretty good static crashes, but yeah, we got you that time. Okay, anyone else for the Collins Net? Early check-ins coming up.
Kilo 6, Alpha Sierra November.
Okay, Raul, we got you. Sounding good tonight. Anyone else? Okay, well, so far we're not doing too bad. We got 7 check-ins so far. And a few minutes to go here. So I'll tell you what, Chuck, let's see how you're sounding tonight. And just why don't you pick it up and then send it back to me. N6AF, ND7M.
Oh, great. Let me mute that KFS in the background. November 6 Alpha Fox. Looking around at multiple meters, and they all seem to be swinging in the right direction. This is N6AF, Chuck in Emerald Hills, up above downtown Redwood City. where the mountain lions roam and coyotes, and fortunately not the adult two-legged wild animals. They're all downtown. So we're on the 1963 KWM2. I'm driving it with a 444D Shure mic, and I have the output deloaded on the KWM2 and running through a 3dB pad, and that's driving my SB220 number 1 on the low plate voltage setting. So I'm running about, that was 400 on peaks. So roughly 6 dB down from legal limit on the inverted V tonight. And that's about it. My wife and I just got back from a nice drive. It was about 95 degrees out in Los Altos in Cupertino. But we managed to go to this really nice Italian deli and grocery store. It's just amazing. From the paninis to the authentic gelato. Anyway, back to you, ND7M from N6AM.
Okay, we're good, Chuck. Well, yeah, it sounds like you had a nice outing. Yeah, 95 degrees. Wow, that's a cool spell for us here. I think we got to about 109 today, and supposed to hold that pretty much through the next week. The nice thing about out here, though, is it does cool off at night. Gets down into maybe the mid to upper 60s at night. Where if you go over to Las Vegas, with about another 60 miles to the east, boy, it just never cools down there overnight. It's just hot all the time. So anyway, yeah, you're sounding good, about an S9 signal level, and yeah, I switched over to my fast AGC here so that the static crashes don't mask too much of the signals and so on coming in. Okay, well, still got a few minutes. I'll tell you what, let's go to Ken, KW1MG. Tell us what's new in your world today, and then send it back to me, ND7M.
Okay, Dennis, ND7M, KW1NG. Not on the S line tonight. I didn't get a chance to turn it on, warm it up, but we're on the 7300 into the SB1000 single 3500Z amp, running about 700 watts peak, something like that, into our 80 meter delta loop. And not too much of a busy day today. I had a lot of work to do this morning, troubleshooting a system remotely, and we got that fixed. Turned out it was a software issue. Yay for the hardware guy, me. And anyway, did some cleanup in the shack this afternoon, and took a nap, and just had a nice little steak, and that was a good steak, so I enjoyed that. So that was about it here. Back to you, ND7M, KW1NG.
Okay, great, Ken. Yeah, well, whenever you can find a decent steak, yeah, you got to go for it. I agree with you there. Okay, this is ND7M for the Collins Collectors Association, our Friday evening net. Anyone else who would like to get on our list for the evening here, please come now. Okay, not hearing anyone. So anyway, yeah, I know we're maybe a couple of minutes early here, but let me get things rolling, and we'll continue on here. By the time I get my cheat sheet read here, it'll be time anyway. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the West Coast edition of the Collins Collectors Association Collins Net. This is ND7M, November Delta 7 Mike. My name is Dennis, and I'm located in Pahrump, Nevada. And I'll be your net control for this evening. And we meet here every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time to exchange information on Collins radio-related topics. You don't have to be running Collins equipment to join us, as anyone with an interest in Collins radio is welcome to check in. The purpose of the CCA is to promote the conservation, restoration, and use of Collins radio equipment. and to preserve the history and lore of Collins Radio. We welcome questions, comments on the restoration and operation of Collins amateur, military, and commercial gear. In addition, we provide a technical and historical information archive for Collins Radio equipment. The CCA is licensed by Rockwell Collins to use images, logos, manuals, and printed materials. For more information about the Collins Collectors Association, its forums, activities, services, and how to become a member, visit our website at www.collinsradio.org. That's collinsradio, one word, .org. And please help our efforts by joining the Collins Collectors Association. So before we get started, if there are any additional stations that would like to get on the list, please come now.
W6MVM, William 6, Mike, Victor Mike.
Dave, Las Vegas.
Okay, we got 2 days in a row here. W6MVM and KD7TOA. Anyone else? Okay, nothing heard. I'll tell you what, we already heard from Chuck and Ken, so let's kind of get things rolling with Wayne, KB6OQJ, and Wayne, you're going to send it to Mel, WA6JBD, and Mel send it over to George, W6YEC, and George, you're going to send it to Ron, W6RBJ, and Ron, send it back to me, ND7M. So go ahead, Wayne, KB6OQJ, and the Collins Group, ND7M.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. And before I go on, give me folks kind of want to know what your call sign again?
Yeah, it's November, Delta 7, Mexico. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're going to send it to Mel, Whiskey Alpha 6, Juliet Bravo Delta.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. Thanks for posting the data. This is Wayne, KD6OQJ. California. That's about all that's going on right now. George, W6 and driving the 30L1 for about 500 watts or thereabouts. We're using the loop antenna tonight of about 35, 40 feet in the air, and home ACC drive. We've been kind of experimenting with antennas. I found out when I use my coaxial flat top, if I don't have the loop grounded or going into the W load, I lose all kinds of RF to the loop with my coaxial flat top. Kind of interesting discovery. There's a load down in San Diego. Give it over to you, Rob. W6RBJ, take it away. Oh, Dennis, I thought I heard somebody else check in an NI5L, something like that. Apparently, and I'd like to double check that. Go ahead, Rob. W6YC.
Fine business here. W6RBJ returning. I've got a really nasty noise level up here tonight, and so although most everyone's Q5, you're sitting several right at the noise level. So S1, S2, and George, I could not copy your call, so I ask forgiveness that I'm not offering you a call back, except I know you're in San Diego. So, Dennis, when it goes back to you, you could maybe repeat what George's call is. I'm up here in Fortuna, up in the Redwoods, and it's been cool today here. We had some sunshine, but the good old North Coast ocean breezes keep the place cool, except for that heat wave that got the entire state last week. But it's been pleasant here today. We're sitting at about 60 running the S-line tonight, 75S3C, 32S3A, an SM3 microphone, 30L1 linear with about 500 watts input, and driving a high power. So we are vertically polarized here. And that's about the story. I don't want to hold it to make sure that just because I don't know if people will be hearing me, but the conditions are not quite where we want us to until the sun comes down. Dennis, send it back to you,
Okay, good, Ron. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, S-Line is sounding good tonight. Okay, this is the Call with Collectors Association. If we have anyone else who'd like to get on the list, please come now. Any relays?
You're the 5, I think it was NI5L.
No, I'm not copying him. Yeah, if he's in there, George, no copy on him. So maybe wait a few minutes, and the band might come in for us more towards the east. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do our next group here, and we'll start out with Raul, K6ASN, and Raul, send it over to Mike, W6MVM. And Mike, you're going to send it to Dave in Las Vegas, KD7TOA. And Dave, when you're through, send it to me, Dennis, ND7M. So we'll go ahead with Raul, K6ASN, and the Collins Group, ND7M. Okay, there was someone else checking in, I think. Okay, we got you, KK6 IRZ. Jeff, I believe. Okay, yeah, no problem, Jeff. Yeah, we'll do another roundabout here, and I'll pick you up after that. So yeah, sorry, Raul. K6 ASN ND7M. Go ahead.
Not a problem at all. ND7M and the Collins is K6 ASN. You're in particular sounding really good tonight. Almost AM quality here. Got you 20, if not 30 over 9. The rest of the group sounding good as well. Seems like everybody is either really stellar or just flat out uncopyable. There's really no in between tonight. Anyways, so it's a really good night for band conditions. Well, here in Redwood, 6,000 feet on the 130-foot doublet, 55-foot high apex. Getting stuff with about 400 watts out of a Meritron 811H, which is taking signals from Nikon 7610 rig. The things here in full swing this seems to be the season for contest season. Got a couple of big ones here that are all falling between now and the end of September. So glad I got most of my antenna farm work done. At this point, it's just honing operating skills to be able to have a good showing. Other than that, I guess I'll pass it over to, if I can read this, W6MVN from K6ASN.
Excuse me, I didn't turn the box on.
K6AFN, WS6MVM, roll.
You're coming in here very, very nice.
Good strong signal here. Sounds like your antenna work is paying off.
Anyway, this is W6MVM.
I'm in Soulsbyville at the ranch.
Still moving and haven't moved everything that needs to be moved. We're running the Flex tonight, barefoot, 6300 barefoot. The Collins, all the Collins gear is still out in the outbuilding. I got to start moving it in here, and I'll move the KWM 380 in and the S line back in here probably this week. Just the heat has made it hard to get things done. It's really hot. We're still trying to prep the Soulsbyville house for sale. And that's going slower than usual. So anyway, we're still at it. Anyway, it is good to hear everybody on the net tonight. Thanks, Dennis, for running the net. Let me put it off to. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say, any of you guys who like the old-fashioned stations, our local commercial PW station is having a big event this week, and it started at 5 this afternoon. AHP, and it is transmitting on its traditional frequencies, commercial frequencies, and also it's got K6 KHP that's running CW 50 kilohertz up from the end of every band. And they're running a lot of Henry radio equipment, usually 5K or 15K Henrys, depending on which frequency they're on. And they're worth a listen. They're worth a listen. Let me pass it on. KD7E. I think it was TOA, Dave, W6MVM.
Yeah, Dave, KD7 TOA, ND7M. Yeah, I imagine Mike's a little bit light for you, so go ahead and take it.
Thanks, Dennis. This is KD7 TOA, Dave, in Las Vegas. I'm operating about 90 watts on an ICOM, 7,000, little lightweight curve that you guys are running. Also just running it out of the big dipole antenna up about 30 feet. think I'm getting a little bit of static on my antenna or something, because every once in a while it'll pop, and then I'll have a little clarity, then it'll disappear again into a hiss. So anyway, salute everyone, and I'm doing feel better on. We're sort of split and anyway, this will be my 73 round, and I'm just going to hand it back to Dennis. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, real good, Dave. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, well, we do have quite a, well, I know what you're talking about as far as maybe some kind of a static discharge on your setup there. There's quite a bit of, you know, lightning type static I'm hearing out here also. So there might be something going on down in Arizona or whatever. So anyway, yeah, Ron, yeah, S-line sounds good. Raul, everything sounding good on your end. Mike, yeah, you're run by an S9, okay on the move, and the CW commercial station there. So anyway, I guess I'll jump in here. Kind of last guy in the queue almost. It's Dennis, ND7M in Pahrump, Nevada, and running our HF Rockwell Collins HF 8078 transceiver tonight, around 1200 watts out into full wave loop, up at about 30 feet or so. And anyway, what I'm going to do is since we had a couple of guys who kind of started in the middle, well, not in the middle, but kind of the top of our list, we'll swing around and we'll reshuffle the deck here, and we'll have Chuck, N6AF, you're up next, and then you're going to send it to Ken, KW1NG, and then Ken send it over to KB7OQJ, that's Wayne, and Wayne, you're going to send it to Mel, WA6JBD, and Mel send it back to me, ND7M. So before we do that, do we have any other check-ins I'd like to get on our list for the evening here for the Collins Collectors Association? Please come now.
Whiskey 7, Mexico, Sierra.
Okay, well, nothing heard at my location here. So, anyway, we'll send it to Chuck, N6AF, ND7M. Go ahead.
There was Whiskey Sierra in there?
That was W7MS. Good evening.
Is that you, Mike?
That's me.
Yeah, there was a call, K7 and Whiskey Sierra, I think, wanted to check in. You didn't hear it.
But it is I.
Okay, we got some doubling there. Yeah, MVM standby. The other station, go ahead.
Yeah, that is W7MS.
Oh, okay, Mike. Real good. Yeah, the band's a little bit thin for us tonight between our locations here, so we got you in there. We'll take you up a little bit downstream here. Hopefully, band conditions will pick up. So anyway, we're going to get started again with Chuck, N6AF and the Collins Group, ND7M. Okay, is Chuck in there? I'm not copying him.
Don't hear him here either.
Okay, real good. Well then, Ken, you're up to bat, KW1NG, ND7M.
Okay, kind of rough conditions a little bit for some guys tonight. That NI5L over near Tucson, I could barely hear. So I don't know if he's still there, and then I don't know if Jeff is around or if he's taken off. So anyway, very good. I don't have a whole lot more to add. I hope everybody has a nice evening and survives the heat here. It hasn't been too bad here. It was in the mid-90s, I suspect. We're about 30 miles east of San Diego, so not too far from the coast, but it still does get warm here in the foothills. I understand it gets warmer out east a little bit in the mountains, Pine Valley and Mount Laguna and all that have been 5-10 degrees warmer, and then of course the desert is scorching, 110 or more. So anyway, we're not doing too bad here. We do have the air conditioner running, and it's pretty comfy in the house, and that's where we've been mostly, except for a little bit of antenna work here today. I don't have anything more. I wish everybody a very good evening. And we're going to pass it on to Wayne, KB6OQJ, KW1NG.
Okay, thanks, Ken. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag of signals. Somebody mentioned earlier, some stations coming in. Nobody's real strong, but some are pretty clear, and some are way down in noise, and I have to listen to KFS. But so far, I've heard pretty much everybody. Speaking of the heat, we've been in probably for the last 3 weeks or so, the low 100s and the high 90s. Pretty uncomfortable, plus humidity dew point has been up a little bit. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but we've got a pretty good flare going on here just roughly about maybe 5 miles from the house. It's called the Lake Fire, burns the fire section. Last I looked, it was about 39,000. And it's been some pretty rugged terrain. And boy, I feel sorry for those guys fighting it because, they got all their uniforms, fresh uniforms on and climb uphill and digging and shoveling. And it's been going on since I think since the weekend anyhow. So yeah, those guys they're earning their pay, and I don't think they can take that much. So I don't have a whole lot else to add. I'm going to listen out and then go join the XYL to watch a little TV. And Dennis, you might just mention, you didn't mention whether you lived, you know where Jarvis was and how far away from it. I'm just kind of curious. So anyhow, over to you, Mel. WA6JBD, KB6OQJ. All right, very good. It's OQJ. Well, Raul had mentioned, one of you guys mentioned that the football here was just flat out, really strong, 20 over that side or whatever, or nothing. It's about the same thing here. About half the guys on the net tonight, I rarely hear, I don't hear at all. It's a little rough, and then some of you guys are just banging it really, really loud, so it's interesting. I can't really make sense of what the competition is doing. It's just go. And he also mentioned the rotation. Yeah, he's right. It's coming up on Metro Week. I'm curious working on getting a couple of 10 inches up here in the house. I normally go roving. The house is here. I'm working on the dish on a sandhill town farming. And making a lot of progress. Pretty brutal working outside in the summer, so half an hour outside to maybe cool off. So progress is slow, but a lot of other internal work going on. It's fun, and you guys can be doing all the other household chores and stuff. So I've been pretty busy, and managed to get some time out of my development. Anyway, that's about all I have. I don't have anything else that's interesting to report other than the cat is on the desk here. Temporary can't make it like it. That's all I got. Go ahead, George. Take it away.
Okay, Mel. Good, strong, left-side signal in San Diego. And Wayne, from the southwest side of that house, the things are moving around a little bit. And I guess I had a copy on Ron there. And Raul has found left down here. And Mike has very here in the helicopter space. So that's what it knows, I guess. Dave was a 5 and 5 copy. So that's how we're hearing it tonight. And our friend Jeff, what do you think of the was? So that
YEC, W6RBJ. Yeah, George, you come up quite a bit. And so, yeah, we had a Q5 copy on that one. The noise level is still competing, but you're winning the battle. So, yeah, this is the classic summertime 80 meters up here where I live. Things start to get good about the time the sun goes down, and the sun goes down a little after the net ends. So, there you go. I do have one question, if anybody's listening and has a chance for that. I'm curious about the thoughts about some of these capacitor sets that you can buy when you're working on repairing and restoring some of these old Collins transmitters. I know that I bought a set from Mark Olson out there at Nationwide Radio, at K89PQ, for 75S1. It seemed to work well. I'm now getting ready to try to dig into a 32S1. And I'm just curious to know, do you think shotgunning it when you've got a transmitter that's not working is reasonable just as a start? Or if it's old enough that it's not working, is it reasonable just to go ahead and replace the high failure rate items along with other ones that you find that, capacitors and other components that have gone bad? I just kind of like the opinion of anyone who's done any of that kind of stuff. So I'll listen out. I'd like to hear what people have to say on that, and then we'll see what goes. So I guess I'm supposed to give it back to Dennis. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me, but I'll go with that. So ND7M and the group, W6RBJ.
Yeah, okay, real good, Ron. W6RBJ and the Collins group, ND7M. Well, let's see, what do we got? Yeah, Wayne, Jarvis Street, it sounds familiar to me, but I'm just not really quite placing where it is. So it might be maybe on the south side of the valley or something from me here. I'm kind of in the north part of the valley, and but yeah, Jarvis does sound familiar to me. I'd have to kind of look at a map and get my coordinates on that as far as that goes. And yeah, real good, Mel, on the microwave antenna work. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, working outside. Of course, you're a little bit more temperate down in that area than we are up here. And really, last few days I haven't done a whole lot outside. Drove into Las Vegas on Wednesday for a normal luncheon get-together with a bunch of the retired guys that I know, and that type of thing. But yeah, it's just been awfully warm outside to really do anything in that respect. And yeah, well, happy birthday to your daughter there, George. And yeah, hope everything's going good there. I'm sure it is. Texas this time of the year, you never know about the weather. It's always a concern. But yeah, hot water 16. Wow. Yeah, that brings back some memories for me. That was my first novice radio that I had back in I think 1968, somewhere in there. And in fact, I still have it. It's packed up in a box in the back room with a few other items from the very early days that have still survived. And yeah, Ron, unfortunately, your signal's kind of dropped out on me a little bit. I was getting maybe about 70%, and I know you were asking some kind of different types of questions and about capacitors and so on, but unfortunately, I wasn't really quite able to pick that up. So sorry about that. Maybe somebody else can jump in there. So anyway, I'm going to take one more standby here and see if we've got any other stations like to check into. The Collins Collectors Association net. Please come now. Okay, well, nothing heard but the static crashes. So let's see, I guess we're going to go with Raul, K6ASN. and Raul's going to send it to Mike, W6MVM, and Mike, you're going to send it to Jeff. We'll see if he's around, KK6IRZ, and Jeff, if you're around, send it to Mike, W7MS, and Mike, send it back to me, ND7M. So, Raul, go ahead, K6ASN in the Collins group, ND7M.
ND7M and the Collins group, K6ASN. Well, not a lot more to add, but one of the nice things about hanging out in this group is definitely included with people who are more experienced, more knowledgeable, people who have seen more and done more than myself, is the history of things that come with it, such as the nature of this net, looking at Collins equipment, going back almost 100 years now. Was at the microwave meeting with the microwave group last night, and one of the things that came up was the old band allocation that ND had pre-World War II. One of them in particular was the 5-meter band, and so as a group started discussing architecture and theorizing what it must from a component circuit theory of operation standpoint of what it took to be able to get a 5-meter rig going, and wouldn't you know it, that when I get home and I'm looking in my book stash, my meager humble library, come across a 1942 copy of the ARRL handbook, and sure enough, inside of it, it's got the 56 megahertz receiver, transmitter, and amplifier schematics in there. So I was fortunate enough to have that already there in my stash to be able to reference what we were only discussing hours before in the meeting. So that's one of the things that I took away from groups like Collins Group, is just to be able to get kind of that glimpse, get a little bit learning into the history of some of this older gear. So it's definitely appreciate you guys letting me hang out with you guys. So with that, I'll say 7-3, hand it over to W6MVM from K6ASN.
K6AFN, W6MVM. Bro, very good, very good. I'm glad you found that manual. I've got quite a few of the manuals from the 40s, almost all of them. Clear up all the way into the about 80s or 90s. Anyway, so they're out in my reference library up in the outer building. I tried to get the everything moved over here to the ranch. I got my the power supply for my KWS-1 sitting right here behind the bench, and I got to get the A line up. I've got to get the S line up. I got the KWM 380, which I'll put in here with the ALS 1300 amp. Excuse me, I got the cough. Anyway, really looking forward to building a nice Collins. We should be... Hello, let me think. That was KPH I was talking about. A6KPH, I looked at 3550, didn't see them. I would suspect they're going to be there, but they were... So anyway, I got the call. Let me turn it on to AK6RZ, W6MVM.
KK6IRZ, are you back? ND7M. Okay, no Jeff at this time, so Mike, we'll send it to you, W7MS, ND7M.
Well, okay, Dennis, W7MS here. How copy?
Your signals come up, no problem.
Okay, well, one of the things was when you have a noise-canceling microphone, you need to hold it up to your lips. That was one of the issues, but let us say good evening, everybody on frequency. I think we're wrapping things up. I was late with a phone call and also had no plans to actually operate because there was some thunder and lightning activity over the top of my head. around 6:30, 6:15, so that explains some of the comments on static crashes and noise. But this evening I decided to turn on some ITT Mackie gear, so it's not Collins, but an MSR 8000 and an MSR, 1020, I think is the HF amplifier for this stuff. So we'll keep it short. And for Raul, well, just by chance, I have a 1934 Frank Jones 5-meter transceiver that uses a single, I think it's a 19 tube. So there. Have I ever used it? No, but it looks good on the shelf when I got it from the original builder years ago. Probably sometime in the 90s. So that's my 5-meter contribution. So Dennis, thanks for running the show. And 106 degrees here for a high, at least at this location. It's somewhere in the 80s now with the nice downdraft from the thunderstorm. So back to net control, ND7M, W7MS.
Yeah, okay, well, good, Mike. Yeah, well, we weren't too far off from you. I think we made it to 109 today. And, the evenings have been pretty decent lately. They've been cooling off, but I don't know about tonight. We're supposed to be getting the outer boundaries of the monsoon weather that's going to be coming through, into Arizona and so on. So we do have some high clouds right now. And I tell you what, when those clouds get here at night, it's like throwing a blanket over everything. Nothing really likes to cool down. So anyway, I know the weather up there. It's real nice at night. That's one thing I did enjoy when I lived up there in that respect. So anyway, I'm going to take one more standby here, and then we're going to do for those who are still hanging in with me, we'll do our final 73 round here. So any other stations wishing to do a final check-in here for the Collins Collectors Association, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. And so anyway, what I have on the list here is we'll check in with N6AF. Maybe he had other things he needed to get to on his last go around. So Chuck, if you're there, we'll pick you up. And then we're going to go to Wayne, KB60QJ, and Wayne, you're going to send it to Mel, WA6JBD, and Mel is going to send it to George, W6YEC, and George, send it back to me, ND7M. So Chuck, if you're back, pick it up, and we'll see what you got there, N6AF and the Collins Group, ND7M.
Yeah, very good there, ND7M, N6AF. I was listening in on my portable receiver, known as a iPhone, listening to KFS, but I was upstairs and I missed it. It was kind of important. I was having a very quick sushi dinner with my wife Mary, and I had the phone on in the background, but I guess I missed it there. Between the wasabi and the soy sauce and a couple other goodies she pulled out of the fridge. So sorry about that, but got back down here. She says, you better get back downstairs. So she got rid of me. So there you go. But I listened to some of the comments, and even though my listening was a little bit fragmented, I still enjoyed showing up and getting there on the list. And nothing to report, really. I have one positive comment, Collins comment. Ever since I fixed the PTO in this KWM2, I've never had an issue with the rig. So it's one little smidgen of additional proof of the reliability of the design. You know, it's a grain of sand in the mountain of decades of usage of that model of rig. So I'm really enjoying that. On the other hand, I have a quote-unquote modern rig that I bought back in 2000, but it's relatively new, an FT100 Delta, and this is a 160 meters through 440 meg do-it-all rig, and it stopped switching properly in its bandpass filter section, and I went and troubleshot using the service manual, and there was a little multiplexer IC that controls, orchestrates all those relays in there, and it looked like a little fleck of something conductive got between two pins on that surface mount integrated circuit, and so I was just poking around, and all of a sudden it started working, and so I was kind of happy about that. I don't want to be changing out an 18-pin surface mount dip, so a little success on the repairs tonight. All right, 7-3 everybody, always fun. Over to you, Wayne, KB6OQJ from N6AF. Good evening.
Okay, Chuck, this is Wayne, KB6OQJ up in San Diego, and just want to say 73, everybody have a good weekend. Don't have a whole lot else to say here, so stay cool. Hey, over to you, Mel. Juliet, Bravo Delta, KB6OQJ. All right, thank you, Wayne, KB6OQJ in the Thailand jet, boy, the band is really changing. And you don't over something and you're like 40 over S9 and your signal is down. And I was barely hearing Wayne before. Now his signal is up. I'm not sure that you're both S9. But pretty dramatic change here. So, don't really have anything of importance at this point other than in all the Collins equipment that I have run, a good chunk of it was given to me, and I bought a bunch more, and got a really good deal. I'm very, very fortunate with it. One of the things that I've been going through and finding is some crystals in little boxes and parts. Dennis, you already were able to take advantage of a couple of the crystals that I had here. But I have found what appears to be a crystal for a 51J receiver. So all the band carrier oscillator crystals, whole set of them. And I had to do a little detective work to figure out what they were, and get all the right frequencies for the 51J receiver. So I don't know what to do with them. If anybody has any idea of something you want to see guys see them, want the whole set, I kind of hesitate to break up the set, but if anybody has any interest, looking at my QR set, drop me a line and we'll figure something else out. Otherwise, they'll probably go up on the stage, and I thought I'd give you guys some time. And with that, that's all I got. That's for everybody. It's been a lot of fun, and I will catch you next week. I'm expecting on the Swan for those of you guys who got, and we'll see you next time. Go ahead, George. W6YECWA6J. Good night, all.
Now, we'll see you Saturday on the squad net. We look forward to that. And, the band came up and then over now. And Chuck came up where he was very readable. That's good. So, about 6 inches there. All right. I don't have anything more here. We're going to call it a night and head up to the Ponderosa there. And thanks every week to everybody. Thanks again, Dennis, for taking the notes. I think he's going to give you ND7M W6Y.
Okay, real good, George. W6YEC in the Collins group, ND7M. Yeah, well, we've got, Chuck, good deal on getting the FT100 going there. Yeah, sometimes sometimes you luck out, I guess. That's the best way of, thinking about it. Yeah, no problem on being at dinner. I mean, there's certain things that take precedence over ham radio, so no problems there at all. And yeah, Mel, the band's is up and down here. I'm seeing about maybe 20 dB QSB on your signal. So yeah, we're kind of in a transition period here now because we just got to a local sunset, so signal should be coming up. But yeah, we've had strong signals and we've had some not so strong signals. And yeah, if anybody hasn't heard, Mel has a set of 51J series crystals. And if you are interested in that, look up Mel on QRZ and make a deal with him, right? So let's see. So that's about it for that. We'll continue on with the 73 round here. So W6RBJ, Ron is going to get it, and he's going to send it to, let's see, Brawl's checked out. We'll send it to Mike, W6MVM, and Mike, you send it to KK6IRZ, Jeff, and Jeff going to send it to W7MS, Mike, and Mike, send it back to me here. So, yeah, take it away there, Raul, K6ASN in the Collins group, and I'm sorry, not Raul, Ron, W6RBJ, looking at the wrong line here. Ron, yeah, go ahead for the CCA and ND7M.
Okay, my business, Dennis, ND7M and the Collins Collectors Association, W6RBJ. Yeah, things seem to be stabilizing a little bit from here. I hope that people are hearing me. What I had asked before was people's attitudes about doing shotgun capacitor replacements on these old Collins S-Mine rigs using the nationwide radio, for instance, capacitors that's pretty high failure items. Just curious to know if anybody had an opinion about that. I've got a 32S1 which is non-functional, and wondering if starting out with that and then looking for anything that seems to be left over would be a logical way to approach trying to revive it. So that's it for me, and thanks to everyone. I'm going to be out of town visiting some relatives on the East Coast in the swelters for the next 2 weeks, so I will see 3 weeks from this evening. So 73s all around, and we'll pass it on now to Raul, K6ASN, and the group, W6RBJ.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead, W6MVM, ND7M.
Yeah, ND7M, W6MVM. Yeah, I was glad to hear that comment on the capacitors. I got a lot of Collins gear. Some of it is been recapped and some of it hasn't. All I can say is the one, particularly the 70, I have 375A4s. The one that Howard Mills recapped and realigned, and he changed, made a few other mods that it just sounds better than the unmodified 75A4, and it works better too. The caps are getting old. Probably not all of them you'll change out or worth changing out, but a lot of them are. So I would recommend doing those, and that company is a reliable company on the caps. I wouldn't be afraid to use them. If you got the time and you got the inclination, do it. I think you'll find it'll make an improvement in the quality of being able to align it and the quality of the sound when you're done, particularly with a 75S1. I have two 75S1s. Both of them have been cap restored. I love them. They're really, if you just want a plain old sideband rig that does nothing else but sideband, it is really, really hard to beat an S1 line. They are fabulous for that, and I love them. And I have an S3 line, two S3 lines actually, and I love them too. Also, I have a couple of KWM2s, which I do love. And about half of them have had the caps replaced in them, the other haven't. And it does make a difference. It does make a difference if you change the caps and make sure they're good and then realign them. They do sound better. That's all I can say. Anyway, let me say I'm going to go try to find KPH, the Half Moon Bay station. They're operating 50 kilohertz up CW on all the bands, so I couldn't find them on 3550. While I was here, I just ran the pan adapter up there, and I couldn't hear them. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go looking for them on 40 meters, which is a better CW band for this time of the evening. Anyway, thanks Dennis for running the net, and I think I passed it off to Jeff, KK6IRZ, W6MDM.
Okay, good evening everybody. This is KK6IRZ, Jeff in Chino, California. I just got back in, so thank you very much, of course, for some of the few people that I have heard. It seems like conditions are okay. I'm hearing everybody so far that has made a transmission. And, we'll have to just kind of keep it going. Looking forward to having lunch tomorrow at Foster's, so that'll be an interesting day. And then going to hang out a little bit and play some music there with Mary down there in the San Diego area tomorrow. So that's going to be an interesting day for sure. And that's about all that's going on right at the moment. Taking a little break, enjoying the air conditioning in the ham shack, my perfectly regulated 76 degrees. And we'll see how the rest of the night goes on. Just running my typical Barefoot Icon 735 tonight. And there you go. Hopefully Mike is able to hear me out there so that he can take his turn. But W7MS, over to you anyway, and good evening to everybody on the group. At least I made it back for the 73 round. This is KK6IRZ.
You're allowed. Yeah, Mike, W7MS and ND7M. Go ahead. Okay, well, looks like Mike went away. And, okay, real good, Jeff. Yeah, well, I'm glad you made it back. And, yeah, your signal's sounding good. I'd say about, maybe 20 over band is starting to build up. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for checking in tonight. We had 12 participants and nice net. Conditions were kind of marginal here and there, but hey, for summertime, we get what we get. So anyway, again, thanks again for everyone for checking in, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same frequency here for the Collins Collectors Association. So 73 from ND7M, and return the frequency back to normal amateur use.
Thanks, Dennis, for running the net, W6MDM.
Thanks, Dennis, for running the show, W7MS. I was on another phone call, but it's always fun. Take it easy.
Okay, real good, Mike. Yeah, you're kind of down in the band right now, so yeah, conditions definitely still up and down between us there. Okay, 73 for everybody, ND7M.